What is up, guys? Control here. In today's video is going to be on Nautilus and Maokai with one Thresh thrown in there because tutoring your Nautilus out of your deck and throwing him into play is really sweet. So let's jump right into the deck and talk about it a little bit. This version is relatively generic. It does have like a lot of one-ofs and two-ofs, which is something that you can definitely do in this deck, which is just tech it towards exactly what you're seeing. I think the overall premise of the deck is relatively straightforward, where you're going to just wanting to be curving out slash saving your spell mana for removal spells. But you can just go like Dread Dredgers on 1, Thorny Toad on 2, Jawl Hunters on 3, Maokai on 4, Dead Bloom Wanderer plus like a Vile Feast on 5, and that's a perfectly good pan out for the list. It can play with a very mid-rangey playstyle. You can also kind of forego that and try to utilize your spell mana for stuff like Jettison, Salvage. Sorry about the phone. But that's something you can do with the deck to just, play for the board or really kind of contest your opponent's minions, block stuff, and then pop off a little bit later. But generally, that's the gist of the deck is you want to play units early game, utilize spells like mid game, like the Jettison to kind of finish off your tossing to get deep. I usually like to hold that until, we're very close to being deep. The point usually where you're at like 23 cards, you play Jettison twice, and then boom, next turn you're deep all of a sudden, and then your ABYSSAL you played on turn 5 is then a 6/6, or whatever you got off Jawl Hunters is now popping off as well. That's kind of the idea though. You get deep, and then you play Nautilus, you win with Atrocity, or you just win with like an overwhelmingly large board. The list, like on paper, it looks decent, but it's one of the ones I feel like you have to play with a little bit to kind of actually get how strong it is, because it really is just super versatile. And even if you just don't consider the entire game plan where you're just removing cards from your deck and going deep, well, you also have to consider the fact that you have Maokai, which is a hero that literally will obliterate your opponent's deck and leave them with 4 non-champion cards, which is absolutely turbo busted. And one that we actually spent a little bit of time yesterday playing a different version of the deck, which we just said was mill. We like threw triple Fading Memories in there, and we doubled up on the Jettison, had 3, played Mist Calls to resummon the Dredgers or the Dead Bloom Wanderers, stuff like that, and cut a lot of I guess the bigger cards and ended up just running cards that will get you deep really quickly. Issue with that is it makes it a lot more Maokai centric, so you do have to draw that. So I think personally I prefer the just straight up more normalized deep version of the deck, where you have multiple different ways to win more consistently. And I think Atrocity is just one of the best cards in this deck. So I would say I'm really happy with this list, and I would definitely recommend it to you guys if you want to climb ladder. And I think it's also very flexible. These Withering Whales, they can go down to 2 or even 1. You can bump up the Grasp to 3. You can bump up even like Aristocrats to 3 if you need to. You can bump Jettison up to 3, yada yada. Basically, there's a lot of room to kind of work with this deck. Outside of the Toss core, you can basically throw in around any of the spells or early game units. Like sometimes you won't even want to run Aristocrat, for example, and maybe you want like another top end card, stuff like that. You can basically mess around with it a lot, and for that reason, I think it's pretty nice. I do think one of the issues with cards like Nautilus and Maokai is they're very hard to splash in other decks, because you're kind of just forced to go deep, which kind of leads to you having the same core basically every time you play the deck, which is true. I mean, you're going to play Nautilus and Maokai with Devourer of the Depths basically every time because the card's just broken. It's going to be the same thing with ABYSSAL, just good cards. Same with Jawl Hunters, but that's okay because then your supporting gas can be swapped up every so often, which is kind of cool. And again, overall, I would say this deck is pretty strong. I would definitely say it's a solid tier 1 deck. I don't think it's the best in the game. I don't think it's like Heimer or Vi level, but I think this is a super solid deck to get masters with. And one that feels pretty cool, to be honest. I didn't play it too much. I think we played like 6 or 7 games of it. But I believe we went 5-1, 6-1, only losing 1 game. And honestly, it felt unbelievably strong. So definitely give it a spin if you guys are interested in it. And it's one that I'll probably revisit a little bit later, because I'm not going to lie, even throughout the video, I didn't even know what Terror the Tides did. I thought it would give you +2 attack, and then for some reason I swapped what I thought to giving you +2/2. And then finally, after attacking, I realized when chat explained it to me that it says attack give enemies -2, -0 this round, because I have difficulties reading cards in card games for some reason. I'm dumb. But the fearsome effect is really strong on it. And anyways, enjoy the video, guys. It's a pretty fun deck, so definitely give it a spin if you guys do have the cards for it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Leave a like, and let me know what you guys want to see next in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Okay. Against Karma as a deep deck. Honestly, doesn't sound too fun, but that's okay. Keep Thresh, probably. It's pretty good. Double Salvage. I mean, a lot of toss cards, at least. I feel like this is a really bad matchup for us because this is a deck that just wins by going over the top. And so we're a very interactive deck. So it's not going to be the best matchup for us to begin with. Play more Hecarim? I could try him in a different deck. I probably won't revisit the Hecarim Kalista list though. But I could try him in something different maybe. Let's play anything with Toss. This card generally does not die though, but it is a unit to develop, so it's still worthwhile to play for that reason. Anything with Toss just to get you know, our units online, get the Nautilus pop in is really exactly what we want, because we are just going to have to really toss kind of as hard as we possibly can to get to a point where we're going to have an overwhelming amount of pressure to kind of just to bully this guy out of the game, I guess, because it's really just how we have to win. And the thing is, it's just not really something that it seems to be it's not likely that it'll happen. I guess the best way to put it is it's just not likely that we will be bullying him out of the game. I think because I want to play the tree, the open attack for 1 is good. Tree also will usually get removed, but that's fine. Because then the Thresh won't get removed. So with Maokai, every time you play a unit, you scale him by 3. It's 7 mana for him. That's actually pretty good that he removed that with the Thermo. Yeah, it's actually good because now our Thresh is most likely going to stick unless he has a Will of Ionia or something. So not bad. Pass. So we have nothing to Devour of the Depths. So probably just open attack here, go from there. Will of Ionia. It's unfortunately just like 2 regions that will do very well against this deck combined into one list that ends up having a win condition that requires no minions in play to do anything, so. You basically put all those things together and what you're left with is not a very good time if you're somebody trying to play deep, unfortunately. But that's fine. I mean, every deck has to have counters, right? Otherwise, you know, you're not going to have any fun on ladder because people are just going to play that deck all the time, so. It's fine, and Thermo, sure. I wish I had like a Grasp or sorry, a Glimpse. Do we even run Glimpse? We actually don't. Okay. Well, I wish I had a card that does not exist in my deck. That would be nice. Let's draw a little bit. Jettison's super good in this matchup. The not. Okay, so we get a bunch of cards. We're 8 away from being deep. We just pass. We have a lot of cards that are good post Nautilus level up, but the thing is, we're not really there yet. Get 4 closer, so we're at 18. If this dies, we're very, very close. I don't think that developing this guy's really the move, to be honest. I feel like I'd rather just like salvage. Maybe even play like ABYSSAL or something. I feel like I'd start with this. We just need to do anything that lets us draw here. It's really good. You can play the Dead Bloom Wanderer instead. Just toss the 3. Because then we are deep. The next turn we can play Nautilus and ABYSSAL sometimes. Kind of just depends whether or not that's going to work. We'll see. But, you know, if he doesn't have exactly a Will of Ionia at this point in the game, then obviously the Nautilus will stick, and then ABYSSAL is going to work as well. This is also our attack phase. That being said, if he does have the Will, then I mean, that kind of just fucks everything up because, well, Nautilus goes back to the hand and we effectively just pass a turn. Is really the outcome there. Also, this Ezreal is, what is that, 1 off of being leveled? Yeah, okay. So we're on like a 2-turn clock right now. We're gonna lose very, very quickly. Devour is very good though, so we play the Nautilus right away. He plays Will of Ionia, we pass a turn, and that will effectively be game. Maybe you argue I should have waited till 10, but like I don't have an Atrocity in my hand anyways, right? So one of the ways you can win is like you wait from the Will your Nautilus, and then what you do is you Atrocity when they will. But the issue with that is like I don't have an Atrocity in hand, and I'm not close to the mana that I need to be able to do that, so it's not really a realistic play if you ask me. Gonna Feast to try to let my 3-1 connect here. That's gonna be the move. Seems to be the play at least. Actually get 5 here. It's pretty big for Atrocity as if we do, because we still do have 2 of them in the list. Didn't think so, okay. Still is big for Atrocity, right? Because that does look to be the way that we're going to win the game if we do win. Get a Devil. It's a Karma. So he can deny the Devour of Depths here if he wants. Which he probably will do, then he has no mana. But it's also getting a deny out for the Nautilus Atrocity stuff as well, so maybe that's actually worth just doing. If I play Nautilus, he just wills it, I have 4 mana left. I can technically Devour and then just like will. Or sorry, Grasp, but that doesn't work as well. I feel like I still like the Nautilus look more. He hasn't played Demeditations yet, so it's not super likely he has every specific spell that he wants. So like the fact that I can still play the Devourer for 2 mana here is really big, I think. So we're gonna do this and get the Deny out now. Nice, it's pretty big that we got one of those. Can open next turn with another Devourer on the Karma, and he'll have to use like another removal spell on it. So it's actually like a really, really good look that we have the opportunity to do this.
Heart and mind as one.
You will feast soon enough.
Some Overcast Identity, man. Another Deny, okay. So now I think it's important to start developing the Abyssal Eyes, because then it'll really just make it so he's kind of left without too many options. He could health push and back up, I guess. That's fine. I think into that though, like I can just Atrocity and we always win now, right? Because he has no mana left. But yeah. I'm honestly kind of surprised that we ended up getting there this game. But I mean, I'll take it, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna complain too much about the win, obviously, but that's definitely a surprising win. And I guess that just goes to like understanding how you win matchups that are bad. Ash Sedge is pretty sweet. Sejuani definitely works super well with Ash. Not really a pairing that you see too often though. So against a list like this, they should actually do pretty well into our deck because they're gonna be freezing units a lot. I mean, Jaw Hunter should be good. Salvage is probably an okay look too. I don't think I keep Nautilus or Devour though. Too slow. That's a pretty good hand actually. The Dredge is really good to have on turn 1, I think. Getting the toss out early is really nice. Well, my videos I'm going to upload daily. As long as I think that I have a good video to upload every day, I will for sure, yeah. Like today, I didn't really want to upload because the content that I had for yesterday was me playing the same deck that I uploaded the day before. Just the Teemo deck. I basically spent like 4 or 5 hours yesterday playing ladder, and it didn't go too well. And by it didn't go too well, I meant that I have a 75% win rate and I was losing ranks, and that kind of frustrated me. So I didn't really want to update that or upload that, sorry, because it was basically me just whining and complaining about how it's basically impossible to climb. That's about it, and I felt like that was kind of bad content, and probably wouldn't want to watch myself. Even though like a lot of the gameplay would have been, I guess like good. It wasn't like terrible gameplay or anything. I mean, I was doing pretty well in a lot of the games. It was just ended up me being whining and complaining about how it feels like it's so hard to climb this game when you're masters. And I just don't think that's really good content, so I didn't upload because of that. For the most part though, I'd like to upload daily. So Ashes is salvage here, look for something. It's not too much we can pick up though. But the salvage is still good. Grasp is good, Dead Bloom, unfortunately we don't have 1 more mana. And I guess just hit the Aristocrat to block with. The only issue with this is we don't really have spell mana moving forward. It's okay though. I think I do just go Abyssal Eye for the draw here. Could also go Grasp as well if you want, or even like Dead Bloom to just toss. Toss is kind of good. I think that it's just Abyssal Eye though. It feels pretty straightforward to me. Hey, Snacks. So the Iceveil Archer is really good for him. Can open attack here. I guess not open attack, but attack. Should be perfectly fine. 3-1 into 2-1. Like it if his Ashe chump blocks, because even if she levels, then the Devourer will actually go ahead and pop off and just actually clear her. Just really nice. That's probably just gonna be the play next round rather than like try to develop like Dead Bloom and go wide. It's fine. Also fine. Triple Devour hand is kind of awkward too. Yeah, daily uploads is something that I want to do. Definitely something I'm looking to do. It's just, I have this thing where, like, I don't really like uploading stuff if I don't think that I did a good job on it. And I don't feel like I do a good job on a lot of stuff, I guess, is the problem. It's gonna devour the Ashe. You could play, like, an Elixir of Iron here or something. It's nice that he didn't, So, we can chump block, chump block. What if I just take 5 instead? We're not that close to being deep. Yeah, we're really not that close to being deep at all. I guess if we just play these two, we kind of are, and we can't do that next round. So it might just be this. Kind of fine taking 5 here, honestly. So if that's what we want to set our turn up to be, I mean, these are going to be juiced up, right? Because we draw 1 natty, so we're 22, and then we go from 22, take 7 away, and we're there. That's probably actually the move. Do that, so we draw 2, so we pick up. Gel Hunter's Nautilus, not bad. Nautilus is super good. And play the Wander. And then we flip it. I feel like these decks right now may just have a little bit of a tendency to kind of just be too anti-aggro in nature at the moment. Which isn't always necessarily a bad thing, it just feels like it's just maybe a little bit too focused on having cards that beat aggro. Which isn't really prevalent at the moment, I find. Fury's fine. Not really an issue at all for us. Still push 6, right? Super, super good. We should also expect like the flash freezes, harsh winds, that kind of stuff. Those should just be things that he will be running, I would assume. So this round for us, ideally we'd like to play Nautilus. I don't get to play a Devour the Depths because he does in fact have, we in fact only have 8 mana, Nautilus is 7, and then Devour will only be 2. So we can play like another Abyssal Eye after, that's about it. No other real sea monsters that we can go online with. Sure. So he's just trying to go wide to make it really awkward for us to kind of just trade into his stuff. I think the thing for us here is we don't really care. Because we can still block with units that have 0 attack. It's not like he has Ashe level tiers, so we're kind of just okay if this is a case where he just wants to like freeze our big stuff, because our big stuff, like our deep units, realistically can value trade his units once and then, you know, go again and everything's fine with that. There aren't really issues overall with, you know, just letting my Nautilus go into whatever he wants here. Or, you know, having my 0/6 Abyssal Eye block like a 5/4. Doesn't really matter at all. As the end result is just going to be that they're most likely going to live unless he has like a transfusion. And if that's the case, I think we're going to be pretty happy. Probably this for Whale. Sure. It's in close games, even if you lose, because then you don't know if a video will be a loss or a win. That's fair, yeah. I definitely post more wins than losses, I'll tell you that. Yeah. So we can open attack, we lose to harsh winds. I feel like it's better if we just like play a lot of cards though, inside. Because on harsh winds it's still good, but it's not as great. I think we play this sticky. This guy's pretty cool. Through the Tides. Definitely a really, really good finisher. It's okay. Not really an issue for the most part, I think. So you can block with everything but the Yeoman Hawk here. He also still has Harsh Winds mana. It's one off of the Ashe level.
to no one.
Sejuani, so I can't obliterate the Sejuani, which is kind of an issue. Wait till post-combat to do that. Probably not. Would ever be like Gel Hunters to challenge the Seju? That might be the luck. Kind of like that. More Tear the Tides, not bad. Ooh. Fancy. So do that, and he can't block any of those actually. Sorry, I'm stupid because of the Tear of the Tides. My bad. So we should win actually. It's like I can't read or something. Yeah, Tear of the Tides is kind of good because it means that your opponent literally cannot go ahead and use their 4-attack units. I always forget about that. I've actually lost that card like twice, I think, because I just forget its effect. I always think it's just +2 attack, but it's actually like +2 attack and then -2 attack for your opponents. And even that might be wrong actually. I should go read the card. Sedge MF feels like it's something everybody and their mom is playing right now. Not too sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I feel like it's maybe not as good as like even like Teemo Sedge. I think they run Yoinki's cards though, which could be bad for him, as it gets me deep faster. If you're on evens, I actually like Maokai more on odds, because when you play him on turn 4, you don't get to play another unit, so you don't get to toss right away. I feel like keeping is maybe actually a little bit greedy here, not gonna lie. I think even like Feast doesn't really feel like it, to be honest. I think it's like this. I could be wrong though, but I don't think Maokai's a look. Double 3s, Jettison, Vile Feast. Okay, Dredgers is really good. Nice. So a super big pickup that we just got a 1-drop, and one of the reasons why I wanted them all a little bit more. It's good. That could just be able to copy paste it just off the screen if you're on desktop. If you're on mobile, you could ask somebody else in the chat to do that, and if nobody can, I can give it to you after the game. Us. So we realistically have nothing to do here. I don't really want to double Jettison this turn. I think I'd rather just hold the spell mana. Sentry, okay. I mean, I could just Feast that if we want. Gives him the draw right away now. I'd almost rather just like start off with Wander and Feast when he attacks, because then maybe he uses mana and doesn't have the opportunity to play whatever he draws. Feels better. Thanks, Snacks. Okay, so none of these will value trade, so I should actually Feast right away, just so then I get the good trade going off, because otherwise the trade for us is really bad. Like the Wander or Jaw will just like get caught by the Sentry. And he's already spent his mana, so it's not like doing the Feast now is bad or anything. Okay. I wonder if I think I do like the Wanderer more than the Hunters. I don't really need to attack right away either with it. Oh, it's kind of bad that we lost Double Jaw. It's actually a really good card in this deck. I guess they're from the bottom anyways, right? So shouldn't really worry too much about that, but kind of sucks still. We just open attack with a 1/1. Technically we still have Jaw Hunters that we could play if we develop something big, so maybe I just like open pass maybe. See if he wants to do anything. Like, I don't really care if I don't develop anything this round, because if you look at my hand, it's really doing nothing anyways.
I'm not greedy.
Grifter, okay. So now we got a good Jaw Hunters target, so I just play Jaw Hunters now. You can't play Make It Rain. If he could, I probably would not want to do this, but it's one of the times where he's not going to be able to do that, so it definitely makes sense to just go ahead and kill the Grifter, I think. I also don't really want my 3/2 to die for no reason, so I think I'm fine just holding that. If we double Jettison, we're getting rid of 8 cards. I think next round is probably when we'd want to do that, though. Not really right now. Abyssal Eye. So we get Abyssal Eye this round, and then next round we could just double. Maybe Abyssal Eye to block an Abyssal Eye. I guess that's what he stole anyways, right? Kind of sucks, actually. Kind of sucks. We'd also let him draw if he gets the Nexus Strike as well. It kind of feels bad to just pay 5 mana to like pass here, but I mean, it might just be the play. Alternatively, we go Beast Below, we double Jettison, next round we're online, we play Abyssal Eye. Ours is leveled up, he gets a draw, we have a 7/7 and a 6/6. That maybe feels a little bit better here, you think? It also means we're a lot more likely to draw like a Nautilus, a Thresh, or Maokai, because we just like toss 8 from the deck, so I feel like the toss plays is good. It does let him draw 1 though, but I don't think it's really going to make or break the game. Because I think for his deck, like a 3 mana 3/3 that just draws him a card isn't really what he wants to do necessarily. Jetty. It's good to get rid of the big guys, because when you play the Nautilus, you got all of them back in the deck. Maybe not that great. I mean, it's kind of like a flip, because then it means you're going to have more big things in the deck for him to go ahead and yoink. Okay, so we're exactly deep now. And the draw is an Aristocrat. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ABYSSAL. It's good Sejuani. That's his best answer here. Unfortunate. I really need to attack with this. Not really. It doesn't really accomplish anything other than giving him another card for next round, so I think it's fine to just pass. Salvage, okay. But a lot more toss effects. Definitely think I want to draw here. We really need to get towards like a Nautilus at this point. 3 guys good, and Feast, okay. Tree guy's pretty close to being online. Definitely disrupts what he wants to do. Should be fine to play. I don't really have an issue with it. That's fine. This card is so strong, man. It's got to be one of the strongest Bilgewater cards. I'm not even joking. It's actually such a powerful effect. It's not that relevant to like a Beast Below here, but like it's so nuts, man. In general, the card is just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And this guy's just popping off now. Does he really want to attack with MF? I was gonna say, like, he knows she just dies, right? I think a 5/3 means that I can challenge it with the Maokai token and then just go ahead and use a Feast to clear Sedge, which is good. I like that. Hi, Luke, how are you? You're not wrong. Toss doesn't actually affect champion odds. True. True. I don't think I'll ever get over thinking about the toss mechanic in an incorrect, or yeah, in the incorrect way that I always think about it. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't actually increase champion odds at all. This level's a 3 up. The second we play Nautilus, like, we're just fine here. The deck is 5 champions. So we actually can't toss anymore after this. It's both atrocities, it's just kind of bad to lose. Yeah, we actually won't be able to toss anymore now. So 3 out of 5 for Nautilus next round, and then we shuffle a shit ton of cards back in the deck. Riptide Rex turn, okay. That's not Riptide Rex. That's pretty big now. So I kind of don't even want this to die now. That's funny. Don't want to attack this one. I could probably still do. Probably Am's gonna whale as well. So once that dies, he gets another one. Or sorry, he can play the big one, my bad. Which is kind of actually pretty bad for us. We're gonna get the Obliterate effect though. So he goes deep once that dies. So I actually have to Feast first. I can't do the whatchamacallit thing if I want that to die. I have to do like this. Because if I whale, then the sentry dies, he goes deep. I guess it's not. No, that's not true. It's not true. It's about the Maokai, right? I bet I'm dumb. Nice awareness control. It's almost like if you remove 21 cards from your opponent's deck, they do in fact go deep. Crazy, right? Crazy. It is absolutely insane how that works. But I've never imagined. And pass.
Life starts small.
It's like a Nautilus, and then I can stun his Sejuani.
You own what you take. We own all we see.
Which maybe isn't even really that good. She loses the buff, I guess.
Blood and salt.
But now I can just block anyways, so it's fine. It's not really relevant.
Bristle, attack.
Plus it's only attack I can miss calling it was back. So we want back though. How good is putting a Sejuani in this deck for him? It's unbuffed, which is a thing. It's probably actually pretty good for us to do that. He still gets a plunder with the MF thing. The only, I mean, I still have the ABYSSAL, right? It doesn't die, so we're fine. Should be okay. I don't think we're gonna win him by decking. It's too hard. His units are too big at this point.
Love ya.
Give them room to spread their leaves.
It's kind of awkward.
Drag them down.
That it could be that actually. I feel like that's fine.
We got some fight in ya.
We just needed to draw some of our deep cards that are Nautilus. Should be fine. He goes to 7. We're okay. That's really good. Really, really good actually.
Son of a.
We also lost both of the atrocities to tosses, so we're not gonna have those. Otherwise, that's like kind of how we'd finish the game, I think.
You own what you take. We own all we see.
Okay, that's fine. It's not really an issue, I don't think. We played the terror.
The seas awaken.
It's a big card we can block with. That's about it.
Fight or die. Give them both.
Whale doesn't work on that. Could whale now to remove MF? I think I said take 1 from combat, right? I think I should actually do it now. Yep, you're right. If we survive next turn, we do win. So go to 1, and then on our phase, so draw to 0, then we pass, and then he'll fatigue. Sure. Sejuani's through the north, so that's actually not the case now. So we do have a little bit more of a game than we had previously. I don't think we're really in that bad of a spot still. Like, we should just be fine.
The winter's claw.
That's fine for us. I can just play, like, Mist Call on that, right? And then we get another one, so it's okay. It's a really good card that kind of just wins us the game, too. Especially if we have, like, a unit lead, it's just going to lead to a victory. He's not going to have, like, a rally effect. Why isn't he attacking with more then? That's kind of weird. I mean, okay. So I probably just have to take that and can't do too much about it, right? It's okay. So making rank's not even a consistent way to land Nexus damage. This is a little bit off. Also now, no, it's still guaranteed. It's fine. So if I do this, I get the 6/6 back, which is good. We want the 6/6 back. We say okay. Go ahead and Zaka is done. Okay, so he plays Citrus, it's fine. So Giovanni does not have less health in this. The MF would level. I could devour the MF. That's kind of fine. Devour, MF, Shuffle Sedge. There's not much we have to do at this point, right? Like, we're just in a good spot. Okay, Fury the North again. That's really annoying, actually. But I shuffle the MF over the Sedge. I think I can actually block the Sejuani. Sedge so he can't freeze next turn? I mean, how's he gonna freeze, though? It'd have to be, like, Make It Rain. I guess you're technically right, then, though. If it's, like... But, I don't know. I can block a Sedge right now, so it's, like, a little bit off. And he has no mana. So I think it is this.
Born for conquest. Burn me at sea.
Does 1 damage ever matter? Could.
That egg, did it move?
I'm not gonna play whatever I draw.
To spread their leaves.
GG. I'm pretty sure it was that straightforward, right? Like, it'd have to be a Make It Rain at the end there. I don't even know if he played one through the entire game. It looked like he didn't, actually.
Not forget.
Yeah, I felt like it was pretty straightforward. I could have been wrong with, like, the execution of the game, but I felt like it was that straightforward. Double Dredgers is pretty nice. It's actually a really good hand. A lot of toss.
Eat that trash!
What is the mill version? Sounds cool, though. Kind of deck replay today. One where you take your cards and you throw them away to make your other cards stronger. It's an interesting one. All of the dredgers in the entire universe are in my hands. I've acquired all of them. To yoinking my stuff? My cards are being stolen. I feel uncomfortable. I don't like this guy. All the Yoinkies cards in general make me just feel not very good. But we're basically deep already, so I don't think I can really complain. Kind of drawn pretty well. The only problem is transitioning this into something that's playable, because right now, if you look at the hand, there's a lot of toss and not a lot of do anything, which kind of sucks. Make it rain? Don't make it rain, dude. Do not make it rain here. Oh, I made it rain. I actually specifically asked for him not to do that, so I'm kind of frustrated that he did that. Definitely don't have the 2-mana burst spell that steals 2 cards from my deck while you have the card that makes the cards cost 1 less in play. Thank you, that's kind of him. It was really nice that he didn't have exactly what I told him to not have. So I appreciate the fact that he was listening to me there. It's quite good. I don't know if I want to play a 3-2 or just draw 2. I feel like I basically never play this card if I play it next turn. Or this turn, sorry. I feel like I basically won't ever play Devil Monitor if I don't play right now. Card, okay.
I'm a people person.
This makes it so it's more likely I have a good play on 5, but like the good plays on 5, even when you're deep, really aren't that many, right? It's like, what am I going to do? Play a Thresh or like play an ABYSSAL, right? Just gives me something else to block with. Nothing kills the TF though, so I mean, it's always gonna be that, unfortunately. Chal is good. And that's a card that's playable. Okay. Nice. Catch with the water. Ow. This guy looks freaky, man. Really freaky.
This land is ours.
Hit him for 6. It's kind of good. Oh. Hello, Nautilus. Also kind of good. Oh, another... Okay. Well, that might just be maybe a win. Maybe we don't have to do anything with Nautilus. Is he going to steal my cards? He's going to steal my cards. Who does this guy think he is? Maybe you have to kill the Twisted Fate now. I kind of want to win the game though, but we maybe have to kill the Twisted Fate because when he levels up, some stupid stuff happens where he plays all the cards and then all the stuff happens where he stuns my stuff and then I'm really going to attack and that's not that fun. I mean, if he's going to give me the free kill, I'll definitely take the free kill. Shall Hunter, sure. So he's got 5 mana left. Could obliterate the TF. Could also obliterate the Jaw Hunters as well. Could also say he just won't draw enough, play the Abyssal Eye, and try to just win. I feel like I like this the most. Play a slot butt deck. I could. Definitely like kind of interested in it for sure. It's one of the new fun cards that I haven't really played with at all. Hey, never say you can't lose. Because you can always lose. That is just a fact, my friends. No game is won until it's won. I've done the math. This is true. We can put him at 1. It's pretty good. 1 is not dead though, so it's actually not that great. Can play Nautilus. He doesn't really have good answers to that. He could Sejuani the Nautilus, I guess. That's like the best thing he could do. And then I would just Nexus Strike. He would challenge the Nautilus next round with the Jaw Hunters attack. We could block Sejuani. It's probably fine. He looks so scary when he's leveled. Super, super freaky. That's the only part about sea monsters I think that I don't like. Like, yeah, they're monsters from the sea, but they're just a little bit too scary. I guess a lot of like Shadow Isle stuff is this is Bilgewater obviously, but I mean even like the whole spider theme, I mean look at this guy. That's kind of fucking creepy, right? Okay, so this guy just hits the yoink button. We do the hit face thing. Heals for bets. What we want?
I'll take everything.
Is there a point? I mean, what's the point? I guess he's trying to 2-turn kill the Nautilus. Okay. So he's gonna do 8 damage to the Nautilus next round. I feel like that's unlikely, but you know, anything could happen. Probably a Sedge. I mean, even with Sejuani, she's not gonna have 8 attack. This is a little bit confusing for me. Okay. Is this like the 3-turn kill Nautilus line? Oh my god, Fury of the North. The Madman. Is our Nautilus dead, guys? Our Nautilus is dead. He figured it out. All it takes is 2 Fury of the Norths. Insane.
Vessel small, but she ain't lacking courage.
Oh, that's kind of big.
Stare at the abyss. It'll stare
Well,
back.
I feel like he's probably not going to be too happy about the double Abyssal Eye. Or the fact that I just top decked an Atrocity. He's probably not going to be too happy about that.
Add this to your bill.
Okay. So according to my calculations, I think we may have won the game. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we may have won. They're not always precise, right? Like, I haven't run the quadratic today, but it looks like it is, in fact, the dub. Big tap. Easy wins, boys. Let's go. This deck's kind of nuts, dude. We're like 4-1 with it. It's kind of good. Not bad.